Well, just talk. Can you just talk better?
Yeah, I can talk better. That's kind of what we do here at How Long Gone. Talk Better is our new service for telehealth.
It does feel Australian. We talk is just a little bit better.
How Long Gone? What's really good, baby? How are you?
What's going on? I'm feeling hazy. I'm in a post-Thanksgiving hangover.
Hold on, is that from an okay, that's not from an IPA that you had before we started recording. That's from
It's not. I was having some Stellas last night.
Okay, so you went to Tay last night. What else has been going on?
Oh God, no. This. I've had the last 3 days have just been dishes, cooking dishes, white people Thanksgiving, POC Thanksgiving, every day, family chat. What's going on? What's new? Were you guys just in London? How's that going?
Okay, so
I'm mentally wiped.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mentally wiped too. It's probably the worst holiday, I would say, that we are forced to celebrate. And it kills everything online, kills everything in real life. It's really a pointless exercise. But I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and they were talking about how during Thanksgiving, when you're a podcaster, if your family listens to it, it's fucked up because they try to challenge you on things that you said on the show. And I was wondering if that happened to you at all.
I fucking wish that happened. Oh my God. I wish a family member would.
Okay, so your family members weren't looking to...
I wish a auntie would. No. They don't talk. I mean, like, some people, like my mom will say she listens, but she's selective about it. My brother's girlfriend, I know she listens, but she's like nice and sweet and is always just like, oh, I listened to your blah 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 episode. It was so funny, great job. Okay, it's never actually, I have some thoughts about. I'm gonna bleep that out, but
no, yeah, that's what.
So I don't. Yeah, nobody's challenging my takes at any family gathering.
Okay, well that's
and
good.
Like I said,
that's
I
good.
wish it would. What about you?
No one's challenging anything I say. No, just kidding. That wouldn't happen. I mean, I don't see my family at Thanksgiving because I've decided that that's not something I'm going to do for the rest of my life if I can help it.
Yeah, I think you're in order. It's healthy though to challenge your family members, argue points, have a healthy discourse and debate. I just don't think anyone at your family's dinner table cares about you enough to even engage in that. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, there's Chris.
Yeah.
He's going to be talking about cufflinks or some bullshit I can't afford. Fuck that guy. Moving on.
My life with my family is very similar to the comment section of my New York Magazine column. So I agree with you that that's kind of the vibe about how stupid I am. Everything I say.
Actually.
Everything is overpriced.
That just reminded me of something. Well, first, I heard a joke, or I came up with a joke like 2 minutes before I started the show. And my brain is delusional enough to just cold say it. All right. If Lana keeps getting bigger, they're going to have to change it from blue jeans to blue cheese.
That is not good. Oh, man. I hope you bleeped that out for your sake.
Okay, so I was thinking...
I didn't know you were working on material like that. I didn't know are we workshopping right now?
Well, to take a page out of your wife's mouth, if I don't do it, who will, Chris? Okay? If I don't do it, who will?
God damn it. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your comment section reminded me of something. Speaking of, I'm always working on things to, PJ Vogt. He has a podcast called Search Engine where like they just answer questions that are just sitting right there, like, is it safe to drink the coffee on an airplane, whatever, all this other stuff. He did an episode recently, why have I been addicted to speed for the last 20 years, which is pretty interesting. But I always try to think of like, what's a sick question and to do a podcast about it. And I was like, why is every comment section on the internet, why are you able to reply except for Apple podcast comments?
Oh shit, I didn't even think about that.
Like every platform, YouTube, Instagram, social media, all that stuff, you can reply, you can clap back, you can defend yourself. But on Apple Podcasts,
I think it's the continued disrespect for the members of our profession. And I think that it's something we need to, we could talk to our friends at Apple about this and hopefully they can make some systemic changes. Because I don't think this is going to stand for too long. I don't.
Thank you for saying systemic.
I don't read. Luckily, I don't look at those Apple reviews because that to me is like lower than like a a pitchfork comment section. You know what I mean? If they had one,
it's
like pitchfork doesn't have a comment section. They're smart.
Of a hobo writing their thoughts on a lamp post is sort of what I unless it's positive and 5 stars, of course, then those people are sick. But it's usually just like, but I see them because I get like email notifications about it from Chartable. Yeah, I don't go looking, so sometimes they're fed to me.
I turn my Chartable noties off. It's very easy to do.
Okay,
I don't need to see that shit. I don't care how high we're ranking in the Denmark comedy charts.
Well, put that on our wellness roundup at the end of this year, and by God, please disable the Chartable noties.
Got to disable it. If you're a podcaster, you know to disable the Chartable noties. You ain't hearing it.
I mean, once I did that, my overnight, my circadian rhythms were just like so locked in after I did that.
I need some help. My rhythms, bro. I had a tough night's sleep last night down here in Jamaica.
Oh yeah. I forgot you're in Jamaica. I didn't forget, but I was like, it's all about me. But we can talk about you.
No, I don't need to talk about it. I just there's a.
Well, I have a lot of questions. I've never been.
Okay. Well,
is it like how they talk about it on TV?
Kinda. It's white people trying to say what guan and not achieving it very well. But no, there's a band playing some light reggae rhythms at night, and unfortunately, those rhythms bleed into bedtime, and but I guess the other people staying at this hotel like that and are. Like they're old. A lot of them are older, but I think they're here to turn up.
Yeah.
So they're down there sucking down pina coladas while I'm trying to sleep after watching 3 episodes of Winter House.
Okay.
And I'm just a little upset.
Okay, so
you come for some peace and quiet, and you got to hear the rhythms.
I think maybe you should have stayed at like some type of more specialty resort in Jamaica and not at like the Sandals or whatever you're at, where it's like a turn up kind of thing.
That is my fault.
Is the place you're staying at all inclusive?
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And I'm proud to say there's 2 things I'm very proud of. I've never stayed at an all inclusive anything, and I've never been on a cruise. And those are 2 things I'll probably take to my death, unless I do get invited on the emo cruise. Then that obviously changes things.
I don't know. I don't think I'm ever, even if they make a them jeans cruise. I don't even know. I don't know if I'm gonna get on a cruise ever. But I have been to an all inclusive resort, and my broke ass liked it.
Well, I mean, I think if you like to drink and eat, it's sick. Those are 2 things I'm not super interested in, so it's not the best. But
it's like, why would anyone ever go to like a tropical vacation in a beautiful beach island?
Well, first of all, Jason,
drink and eat food and enjoy island rhythm.
You know for a fact that I don't like to relax. You know that I don't like no man. Be honest.
So then, why aren't you on the dance floor?
Be honest with me. Be honest with me. No man wants to go on a beach vacation. No man has ever chosen a beach vacation. I think that's real. Unless
it's solo.
Unless they're a hot surfer, I just don't think that men choose. I'm sure I'm going to be proven wrong, but that's my instinct.
Fellas, is it gay to plan a beach vacation?
I mean, I hope it's not, because I did plan this, but it was was
the idea presented to you?
No, I presented the idea actually, because I knew that's what she would want to.
So you're just an old-fashioned sweetheart, is what it sounds like.
I'm an old-fashioned sweetheart, and I'm sweating it out, paying the price. But what's happening down here that happened at the Republican Ritz-Carlton is a similar kind of thing, where these people just start being friends, and start sharing their stories while I'm trying to read my book, and I kind of can't.
They're like, hey, come as long as you're white, just like us, come on down. I think we could be friends. That's the Republican way, bro.
They're sitting, they're belly up to the bar. They're drinking all day, just chatting in the sun. And I just don't. That seems like the opposite of vacation.
But you knew that this stuff happens in Jamaica, though. Like you telling me all this stuff. This feels like extremely par for the course for a Jamaican getaway.
This is the problem. This happens everywhere, and that's what my issue. That's what my issue is. As a society, we've like banned phone calls as like intrusive and insane. But yet, under a certain circumstance, you can approach strangers and bond over the minutia of your boring lives because you're somewhere else. And it just doesn't it doesn't. I feel like there's a correlation, where if we were calling our friends and loved ones and sharing our lives with them more, then it would be.
Damn, you could almost hear a new pulling weeds being outlined as we speak. This is nice. Well, I
already finished next week's, but this is a good idea.
Okay, this one's already in the can. Luckily, we got another week next week, unless the good Lord takes us. What that reminds me, or like I see a lot of correlation to what you're saying, and I agree with all of that. I think the beauty of this IRL organic engagement, I guess, of like two drunk people at a bar being like, hey, and then they become they talk and enjoy the pleasure and all that stuff. If you're calling somebody, it's a jarring experience. That's I have to stop what I'm doing to answer the phone. If you're at a bar, you're getting drunk, you can read the body language. This guy wants to have a convo about the Dallas Cowboys or whatever it is.
I guess that's
and
true.
You can start talking more. This person wants to fuck me.
I guess it's just because I forget that alcohol loosens people up, and they're happy to have a conversation with a fucking obese guy from Florida who looks like he hasn't left the beach in 15 years. It doesn't. It's all good, brother.
But it's just like when we go, like when I was like you're in your 20s and you're single and you go to New York, or if you live in New York, you go to LA. It's like that's the most fun. Is like you get to live your normal life just with a whole set of new people. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do anything crazy. Like I can just hang out at a bar, get fucked up like how I always do at Lucien or whatever. But now I'm at the same place. And it's all kinds of new pussy and new dick up in there. It's exciting.
That is, yeah, that's very exciting. I don't think a lot of
that's on the brochure over there at the Four Seasons. It's all Four Seasons Jamaica, Republican, all kinds of new pussy and dick.
y'all come on down for $1,000 a night. You get the opportunity for some new pussy and dick. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm. It's a quick trip. It's been nice, honestly. I mean, the weather's obviously beautiful, which is all that really matters. So it's not the end of the world. But the music, I have a problem that when I hear. Because of my innate sense of rhythm, Jason, that kind of my body I can't control my body. Once I hear rhythm when I'm trying to sleep, I can't unhear it. Like I can't disconnect my Bluetooth.
You got rhythm Asperger's. You have a high sensitivity to rhythm.
Yeah. Once I hear it, I can't stop. No matter how much white noise is on, no matter how many patches I have on my wrist to help me sleep, I just can't shake off.
Actually,
rhythm,
now that
and it's a problem that I have.
Now that you say that, do you have a sensitivity to fabrics? Like if you're wearing a garment of some sort and the fabric is not to your liking, does it drive you a little crazier than it should?
No, actually, I don't. That's no. I mean, I don't. Okay. No, that doesn't really bother me.
I'm just trying to see if you're Pondy Spectrum.
No, I don't think. I mean, I might be, but I don't think it's from this.
Damn, I gotta get Diplo on the horn. We gotta make a new woke anthem.
Diplo took his dad and sons to Turkey for Thanksgiving, and it was really wholesome content from him.
Sounds like Daddy need a new hairline, huh?
I mean, I think maybe no. I think it was just to bring people together, and he probably was like, "Damn." What if I went to What if I went to Turkey on Turkey Day, bro? And I think that's kind of how it. I feel like that's how it came
about. My life is a movie.
I feel like that's how it came about.
Yeah, that sounds crazy to do something like that because you can go so many other places that are not. I mean, I don't know how long that flight is from Gainesville, but it can't be short, right?
It's far, but when you're flying private, baby, everything's different.
Can you fly that far in private? I don't know how these things work. I feel there's a certain amount where you can't do super long haul flights private, right? Unless you're a Drake or something.
No, you can't. If you got the big enough plane, or you can stop for gas. Yeah, I mean you can. I mean it just costs. It's like an exorbitant amount of money.
Course.
I'm sure he probably flew with the family. You just got to fly first class. You ain't got to. You know what I mean?
Of course, bro. It's like buying batteries at the gas station. They're gonna hike it up.
They're gonna hike it. They're gonna hike it up.
I was looking at your Twitter. You had a Chris Black holiday gift guide. I haven't looked at it yet. Is it worth taking a peek into that package?
Well, of course, because it's for airmail, where I don't get shamed for putting nice, expensive merchandise on the list.
Oh,
so it's got all of the essentials that you need, Jason, for any man in your life. That includes the Rimawa trunk that I've been eyeing myself.
Or it is behind a paywall. Actually, no, I see it.
Yeah.
I can't read it, but I can shop the story for free.
That's smart, actually. That's really smart. I mean,
okay, we got the original Rimowa Trunk Plus.
Yeah, I want the big daddy.
That's the one that is kind of more. It's more like a sandwich shape. It's not like the flat one. It has a little more.
Well, Jason, yes, it's a trunk. I guess is shaped like a sandwich. If you get your mind out of the gutter, you little leftover whore.
It's shaped like a financier.
Yeah, exactly.
I just watched a new episode of Bake Off.
Yes, exactly. And
shaped like a squirrel financier.
Yeah, that's on it. There's a REM shirt on it, of course. There's a
we got some sailor loafers from the row. Is that correct?
Yeah, I wear those. Al got me those a while back.
Those look nice.
They're great. A+.
Those look real nice.
A+.
Smoke hand blown candle from Perfumer H.
Yeah, it's just
what the fuck is that?
It's just a smoke scented candle. It's great. It's available at Gallery Half in Los Angeles, and they do.
I'm talking to you like Perfumer H. I found Perfumer H's name in your phone. Who the fuck is Perfumer H?
And Perfumer H is they also do like the first one's not cheap, but you refill it, which is a nice service.
You refill the candle? They send you like a bag of
wax,
liquid wax.
No, you got to take it in.
Huh? Oh, you
got to take it into the shop. You got to take your truck into the shop. Yeah. But it's still the original one's like $150, and then the refill is only $50 large, so it's a good investment.
Oh my God, I love the idea of driving your candle to a shop and just sitting in a waiting room for an hour and a half.
Sitting in the waiting room like you're about to get bad news. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. We couldn't add wax. You burned wrong.
I read all the Us Weeklies. Are you almost done in there? I gotta. Okay, so that's cool. District Vision Koharu D frame polycarbonate sunglasses, $405.
Those are for the heads, obviously.
It's looking like a vintage Prada. Those are great glasses. I have a pair. Of course, they're sick.
I forgot you have a pair.
You have a beautiful vase.
Yeah, those guys we met.
Eros Torso, Nico June. Yeah.
In Copenhagen. I love the vase.
Copenhagen,
it's very cool. Yeah.
Beautiful vase. This is a nice gift guide.
Thank you, Jason. But the thing that I would like to talk about is kind of dental hygiene. And how this is an area that needs to be disrupted. And I've only found a few people, but this company, Linhart, makes this toothbrush and toothpaste that is excellent. And I also got a toothbrush at Booley, and it's also excellent. I just think this holiday season, Jason, let's pay a little more attention to what goes in our mouth. You know what I mean? Whether that's food, whether that's toothpaste, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of the
water.
above. I think we need to be a little more mindful of what's going in our mouth. And I think that for years we've been sent to CVS, Walgreens, Shoppers Drug Mart, to get these low rent dental hygiene products. And I'm here to tell you there's a better way. And you can spend more money on dental hygiene and feel better about yourself because the package is more nicely designed.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting because I guess even though it is a mouth, body, beauty, hygiene product, I think mentally I lump it in as a cleaning product where it's like fabric softeners and things like that, where it's like, look, I don't trust like getting that goofy shit. Like I need the real Tide Pods.
Yeah.
I need the real fucking cleaning spray. I can't do the Whole Foods 7th Earth free range.
Yeah.
Window cleaner.
I know what you mean. You're telling me your dryer sheets aren't free range? It's crazy.
So I think a lot of people are averse to using natural cleaning products.
This isn't natural.
Maybe lumping that in.
This isn't billed as like a natural. These aren't natural products. They're just better. They just look better. They're made better. They're not claiming natural. Because I know what you mean. Like,
okay. So they're not mentioned, but I guess it's sort of implied if it is an artisan toothpaste or a soap or any of these things where it's like there's a trade-off in terms of like it's not going to do as great of a job cleaning.
See, I think this is...
But it will taste better, be better quality and all that stuff. But you have no way of proving that your products do a better job cleaning, right?
I think you're wrong on this, but I see your line of thinking and it makes sense.
Oh, I'm not claiming to be right. I know I'm not right. I'm just saying that this is how the brainworms have sorted things out.
That doesn't surprise me. But I think that of all the things left,
because a lot of people they're like, I don't trust that newfangled shit. I'm going to stick to the tried and true Colgate, Oral-B type shit.
Well, I'm the one who I'm the one who fell for the. I mean, I was buying the $30 laundry detergent that then got recalled for causing cancer, and I kept using it because I liked it so much. And now they're back with a new formula.
Chris over here,
so
like,
we're kinda
well,
good
what
to
kind
go.
of cancer?
Yeah, what you mean? I can beat this.
I can rock with that.
I can beat the charges. I can beat the charges.
I don't even have a cervix.
I can rock with that. Yeah, I can rock with that. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, but so I always am looking for products like this because I think it's such an interesting thing to challenge, like Procter and Gamble, and even make a slight dent is kind of staggering when you think about it.
Okay, don't dig too deep. You might get burned by the molten lava, Chris.
No, I would never. I don't want to. I don't want to piss off.
Be careful what you disrupt.
I don't want to piss off our friends at Procter and Gamble. I love you guys. But it's just nice to have alternatives.
Someone's gonna put you on a plane to a business center in Arkansas. You're gonna sign some shit you didn't want to sign.
You seen Chris? Last time I saw him, he was going from LaGuardia to Arkansas. I don't know what happened to him after that.
Against his wishes.
I've read a book while I was here, and it's a memoir by this guy Dana Brown, who used to work for Graydon in the kind of the heyday.
That's the guy who started UFC?
No, that's Dana White. Different, same first name, different color last name. Don't come from my colored last name family. And in the book, it talks.
This is the one. Yeah, I remember you reading this.
Yeah, I was reading a little bit in Australia, but
slow reader.
It gets into the. Yeah, you're telling me.
Fine.
And you get to the you get to the part where like the magazine business is kind of falling off a cliff, and there's this entire chapter about how the Caitlyn Jenner coming out cover of Vanity Fair like was the last like newsstand hit that the magazine ever had.
Oh.
And how
that was the last dub that Vanity Fair had.
Yeah, like they killed with it. Like it doubled what had been happening for the last couple of years. But it's just interesting because the story is like they had heard a rumor that Caitlyn Jenner was transitioning, so they offered her a cover, and they didn't hear back for like 6 months. And then her publicist was like, all right, let's do it. And then it ended up being this great, Buzz Bissinger did the story and Annie Leibovitz shot the photos, and it was all in secret. But it was just I didn't think about how big that, because nowadays that would just be like a digital cover. You know what I mean? It wouldn't, I don't know if it would move units.
I guess it has been a long time since.
It has. But they kept it so secret, which is also like impossible now, I think.
Somebody wouldn't. Do you think that the 6 month waiting period was because there were some parts that were on back order? You know what I mean? Like we needed to fully complete the transition.
Yeah, for sure.
Or like something needed to happen before they were photo ready?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would assume so. But I think it was also like, we're going to come to you with only the best designer clothing. Like, we're bringing you, like if you've just transitioned and you get the best hair and makeup, the best photographer, the best stylist, it's like what a gift. You know what I mean? Like why? How could
rolling out the regular Hunter Schafer ain't even getting this shit, bruh.
How could you not do that? But the other part that was really funny in the story is that like they've got all this security because they're shooting it at Caitlyn's house in Malibu. They got all security everywhere. Everybody's like wired up and like talking to each other. And they're like, we have a problem. There's a Bentley coming up the driveway, and it's Kim Kardashian. And she just shows up and lingers around because she wants to get in one of the photos, and Annie won't give in, and so Kim just leaves after like an hour.
Damn, that's cool of Annie doing that.
I know, I agree. Holding the line. I mean,
don't take their shine.
Well, we forget kind of because of how ingrained they are in our conscious. But there was a time where the Kardashians were kind of like blackballed. Like Vogue wasn't doing it, Vanity Fair wasn't doing it. Like no one was fucking with them. That was like a whole thing. Like this is below us. We're not doing this, And then they got too big to fail, and you kind of had to give in. I think if you were any sort of publication looking to sell magazines or clicks at that, at that point.
A lot of through lines with the SAG strike. Am I right?
No.
They held the line. Eventually, they had to give in. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. But it was a really good that anecdote was pretty funny. I mean, the other.
What's the name of that book again? It has a good name.
Dilettante.
Dilettante. That's right.
It's funny. It's funny because it's like not amazing, but the stories are so good that it doesn't matter. Which is kind of like what half the memoirs are in the world, I think.
Not amazing.
Where it's like if you lived enough and saw enough, you don't have to be a poet to get the point across.
Right. The information is good enough to stand on its own.
But it just really cements the legend of Graydon to me, because there's also a story where the writer and his wife have become friends with Paul Bettany and his wife.
Who's that?
The famous actress Jennifer Connelly.
Oh yeah. J-Con.
They go to Waverly Inn together, and I guess another guest at the bar says something sideways about Julianne Moore, or excuse me, Jennifer Connelly.
They'll be talking sweet on Julianne Moore.
he says something about Paul's wife. Paul grabs the guy by the neck and like slams him against the wall in Waverly Inn, like on a Friday night. So it becomes this whole thing. Like the guy runs out, the paparazzi's outside. They have to sneak Paul Bettany out the back door, and this Dana like calls Graydon, is like, Graydon, I'm really sorry. This is, I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Paul feels really bad, and Graydon's like,
I fucked up, Daddy.
Graydon's like, what are you talking about? This just cements the lore of the restaurant. This is good. And there's a huge page 6 story the next day. Next time Paul Bettany comes to the restaurant, Graydon sends a pair of boxing gloves to the table. It says, thanks for your service type thing. And I was like, man, that's just really, it's too good. People don't do that anymore.
Graydon said, again,
the big thing is too, like all the correspondence, like thank you notes and flowers, and like how he just doesn't miss anything, and how like that is just something that is so lost now.
It's a bygone currency.
I know, but I think that also means that it hits harder if you do it. You know what I mean? It's so out of nowhere and so unexpected that it might work even better or be more of a shock and delight.
Sounds a lot like my real bag.
Shock and delight.
Just like, how is this happening? This shouldn't work, but it does. I guess it's kind of up to you to carry that torch of gift giving, Chris.
Honestly, I
pass it down to previous generations, to the seeds.
No, I kind of feel like that. I was looking at David Coggin's gift guide, and it was I skipped the fishing section, but that's for you. And there was a couple suggestions for stationery, which I realized that I haven't had stationery in quite a long time, and I think it's time for me to reorder some stationery and get back to the note writing ways and hold it down.
Paperless is out.
Paperless is out. Like, we're gonna die anyway. If you don't send me a fucking paperless. Sending a paperless post is something else, man. People still do it. I get a paperless post at least 3-4 times a year.
Man, when that broke ass envelope animation happens, when you click on that hoe, I'm like, oh no, come on, we got AI doing all kinds of shit. This is still we still got this little.
It's crazy that they haven't improved that animation. It's some AOL CD on CD vibes from that animation.
I'm gonna go log into my T-Mobile and be like, no, bring it back.
Don't make me get on my T-Mobile.
I need it back.
Something funny happened on the plane on the way down here, and this had never happened before. When you're sitting in the exit row, and the TVs are on the wall, or they pull up on an arm on the seat. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, like you're in the Bod Mountain bulkhead. It's either on the wall or yeah.
Yes.
Which is a bummer when you have the TV that pulls up. You have to stow that bitch for landing and takeoff.
You miss 10 to 12 minutes of Yellowstone. Easy.
I guess I don't need to know how Phantom Menace ends.
It was enjoyable enough as is. But I dozed off a little bit, and I woke up and I looked up at my screen. It was just playing MSNBC, and I looked over, and the lady next to me had just plugged her headphones in to my TV and just started watching it while I was asleep. And I was like,
unprecedented move.
This is some G shit right here. But like, I don't know if she's confused or if she's like, this guy's asleep, so I'm going to use this one. Like, I didn't know what was going on.
How did you not ask her?
Oh, I did. I gave it some time. I let her finish her segment. And then I was like, hi, that's actually my TV. And she was very...
You let him go to break.
I let him go to break. I'm a nice guy. I'm not a monster. I let him go to break.
Sick.
And then...
We were going to Jamaica after all. Okay. So you're like, just a heads up, that's my TV that you were using.
Yes. And she was very apologetic. And then I had to help her get her TV out of the
island style.
Out of the kind of the armrest.
Oh.
Because she Hadn't done that before.
That's sweet.
So it was overall it was a great interaction.
That's a sweet tale. She's there. I want to watch MSNBC, but I can't figure out this contraption. I don't want to bug this nice man who's asleep. So I'm just going to plug in. It just reminds me of when I'm laying on the couch, Bean comes and snuggles up, tries to get a little of my side heat. It's a cute story. And then you unplugged that bitch real quick, didn't you?
Yeah, I said,
bitch, you thought
you could watch MSNBC. I had more Yellowstone. I had more Yellowstone to watch, so I was able to.
Damn, that's a move that I have never heard of.
Me neither.
And it sort of transcends Audacity into like a heartwarming kind of thing for me. I don't know why.
No, because it was a sweet kind of older woman who like if it would have been a dude that like looked like us, I'd been like, fucking dickhead, you know exactly what the fuck you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But because it was somebody sweet,
you're gonna tug on that Brixton fitted real quick and say no.
Yo, not the Brixton.
I will not help you with your Herschel when we deplane.
Not the Plies mesh.
Yeah, I still want one of those. That ship has sailed, right? I can't wear the cock trucker hat anymore.
You
right?
can't wear the cock trucker hat or the Ethicas anymore.
Is that fourth wave irony?
You don't remember shopping for Ethicas?
Of course I do. Ethica is my Hermes scarf.
It is.
Every season there's a new selection of styles that need to be purchased.
It's
a disease, frankly.
I wonder if they have a subscription service for Ethica, because the holidays are coming up. That's something I could get you, like a monthly.
Take a page out of the Black Rifle playbook.
Exactly. Let's do a monthly drop to Jason's door. Drop ship.
Set it and forget it.
Is what I mean.
Wouldn't that be such a fun surprise?
That would be a fun surprise. That's like signing someone up for like a mailing list they didn't ask for, but it costs money. Which feels more
it's like signing somebody up for the military.
That is more what it's like.
Not cool.
So, are you done with all of your
festivities?
Obligations? Can you have a regular meal tonight, or do you have to continue to eat the brown?
The brown is pretty much done. All the food that we had, all the food we made was really good. So I'm not hating on it. The Alison Roman turkey confit. Mamma mia, that was really something special. I'm never going to stop confeting. Tonight I'm going to go to dinner at Gigi's with Pia and Davide and Al, Carolyn. I don't know who else. I don't know if it's going to be a baby in a situation or not.
Wow, that's exciting, because Gigi's is open till 2 a.m. tonight, so you guys might have to turn up.
I cannot do that, man. I'm definitely like, I'm not hungover, but my whole body is like kind of shutting down. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jason, yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm going to neti pot. I'm going to sauna today. I'm going to knock this thing out. I'll be all right. But I need to take some time off.
The gym at this hotel is really interesting because it's its own little freestanding building, and it's
an ADU.
Can you imagine me walking downstairs and somebody and getting taken to the garage and just the lights come on and it's a full Nike gym? Oh, padded floor, mirrored walls, several pieces of Nike equipment, a Nike bench. Oh my god!
With a BMW ribbon on the squat rack,
dude. Honestly, it would be that's the greatest gift. I don't think it costs. I've talked about this a lot about how much it costs to really do it, and it's not that bad depending on how crazy you want to go. Because what's expensive is weirdly stuff like the adjustable bench and shit. Yeah. Like that's more that like weird little things cost more than you think they would.
I think for you can get some like real solid for like $5-6 grand probably, you know?
Exactly. Depending on what you want to do. Also, you know, if you know, no treadmill, of course. Treadmill set you back 15 grand on its own if you're getting the right one.
Say what now?
Yeah, if you're getting a Woodway, you're looking at 10 to 15 minimum.
Okay, Wood.
Minimum. I ain't getting no broke boy I don't want a treadmill that folds up under my bed. That's broke boy shit. You want a nice big dog.
What about certified pre-owned Woodway?
Yeah, certified pre-owned I would be interested in. I just don't know if people I think the Woodway is such a quality thing that people aren't letting them go.
Not a ton of turnover on these. That's how you know, brother.
Not a ton of turnover on these. And it's you know, I don't check eBay or anything because I'm not actually in the market for one. But that feels like one of the more expensive items you could add to a home gym.
Get you a nice, like a 2021 Woodway, low miles.
Oh, it's great. The tread's still on it. I mean, it's great. The tires look good. It's
What I like about it still has the old USB. It didn't switch over to C, and it's kind of cool for a lot of my devices.
Well, that's the problem with Woodway, and you'll see this at Equinox, is that they've made a new Woodway that's like nicer with a screen, but it sucks. Like, I just want the old school.
They went paperless?
They went paperless. I want the real one. So every Equinox has like 4 of the real ones and like 15 of the new ones that no real head wants.
I need to make going paperless a thing. This has virality. I was thinking this morning on my walk about like swag bags, when like of all the free shit that we've received over the years for being influencers or whatever.
Did you see that picture I sent you of me getting my mail? I had to borrow a hand truck from my post office service to get my mail home.
So there was a chance that somebody listening to this right now saw you wheeling a hand truck full of boxes down the Bowery or whatever.
Probably, yeah. I mean, anything's possible.
That's cool.
New York City, you know?
The thought of you operating a hand truck just feels...
Okay, look.
Like, if I saw that with my own 2 eyes, I would be like, no, that's AI.
I'm not as incompetent.
A false image.
I'm not as incompetent. With loading and unloading, I'm pretty good.
I'm not saying that you're incompetent. I'm just saying you can do it, but you shan't do it, if that makes sense.
See, this is where you get me fucked up, Jason. You got me all the way fucked up. That's not how I am, and I do things like this often because it's got to get done, and somebody's got to do it. I'm not above any sort of work. There's things I want to do and don't want to do, but I'm not above anything. You know what I mean?
No, this kind of goes against everything you've ever said, so I don't know what you mean. But I trust you, and I forgive you.
Have I ever not been helpful in a moment where you needed me physically? Pause.
You're always helpful. It's true. I just have this kink in my right shoulder. Can you?
Oh, my quad is seizing up. Do you mind just putting a little lotion on it and kind of giving it an elbow?
Actually, that reminds me. I need to go get a spiritual rub down soon. Okay, so I was thinking about the swag bag stuff, and I was thinking that there's like the food chain of something, like a celebrity gets this cool swag bag, and you know, some of it they keep, some of it they give to a family member or a husband or a wife or a little brother, or you know, a cleaning person, the doorman in your building. You know what I mean? It sort of all gets doled out if you don't just throw it away. Who do you think there's one person in the world who gets the best swag pipeline? You know what I mean? Like Leo DiCaprio's doorman or something. You know, like there's someone out there who's just like getting the sickest shit of all time.
Bro, Zach Bia's driver is probably dripping. Can you imagine, dude? Can you imagine?
I don't even ask for a check.
Or maybe even like maybe Drake's like closet manager. You know what I mean? Or like
Drake's closet manager. Yeah.
It's got to be somebody like that, because those are the guys getting the most stuff. Like,
right.
Brad Pitt ain't getting all the fire tier 0 Nikes. He's not getting any quick strikes. You know what I mean?
They can't get his address for that.
They can't get
it. Has to be somebody a little bit lower on the totem pole.
I think someone a couple rungs below Pitt, Clooney, you know, Bradley Cooper vibe.
Yeah.
Is getting it. But we also we're not taking into account the female population, and I'm sure they're getting jewelry and shit.
I'm sure the stuff that comes to B's office.
I mean, don't call her B. But they get jewelry and shit, which I think changes things. But also, I mean, bro, magazine editors get fucking Prada bags every Christmas, you know. So it's like, there's actually a funny link in Lauren Sherman's newsletter, or something I'd never heard of. But there's this like secondhand store in like Minnesota, I believe. It's like a known place where everyone sends their designer bags to sell and not get found out, because there's no, you know, it's like anonymous.
Really?
I believe. Yeah, I didn't read into it too much, but Lauren made it sound like it was like a thing that everybody knows.
It's like getting your car registered in Montana, or the offshore Swiss account or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, that's a good...
Interesting.
Because I know that I was always told that Drake had a full-time guy, literally a closet manager, who was like buying and selling like new clothes, old clothes, free clothes, you know, whatever. Like that was somebody's full-time job.
Right. like your money manager, but it's for belts and stuff. Man, that's so crazy for that to be your job.
But it kind of makes sense. If you're like some like 25-year-old like grailed dude who like loves clothes, that's the greatest job of all time. You're just buying and selling like old Margiela for Drake, you know? Like it's a pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if you get paid, you know, $100,000 a year, and your only job is just doing that for Drake, and Drake is able to make, you know, $800,000, it seems like a great little small business.
Yeah, he's paying for. Yeah, exactly. He's paying for itself, as they say.
Beautiful.
I know. Well, I mean, I'm interested. If anybody needs a closet manager, let me know.
This seems like a fun dinner party game for media people to play. Maybe
who gets the nicest stuff?
Mm-hmm. Have you? So that movie. Somebody was telling us about that movie, The Killer.
Oh,
where the guy
it's
only listens to the Smiths.
I've heard that movie. It's funny because
Fincher.
I've heard that it's awful, and I've heard that it's amazing, and that I have not heard in between.
I have heard the same thing as you, and I didn't really like it or get it. It wasn't for me. But I mean, it's just about a guy who's a hired killer, and guess what? He kills. He shoots this guy with a gun, and he's twisted.
What is the Smiths portion?
So whenever he listens to music,
the main character,
like driving in a car, headphone, Fassbender. You know, he's on an airplane. He puts his headphones on, driving in a car, whatever. It's always a Smiths or Morrissey song.
I mean, I do like that.
I wasn't even able to enjoy it. I wasn't really able to enjoy it. It felt ham-handed in a weird way.
Was there any reporting around why he chose that? Did he like give any details around it, or is this just like an aesthetic choice?
Just makes him hotter.
Sure.
He's just like a dark emo guy.
Sure.
You know, I kill people, but I'm kind of like sensitive. It's half of the movie is him checking his Apple Watch and then saying a mantra over and over again. It's like hanging out in Santa Monica or something. He has a heart rate monitor on his Apple Watch, and he's always checking it because you can't kill people if your heart's too high.
How long is this movie?
And then
2.5 hours, 3 hours?
Probably a couple hours. It took me a couple saunas to watch it, but there's a scene in it that happens multiple times, and it's a normal thing that happens in films that I feel like is not believable anymore. It's the move when somebody takes a cell phone, like they don't want to be tracked by the FBI or something, so they take a cell phone and they put it on the floor or the ground, the concrete or whatever, and then they step on it.
Yes.
And then the phone shatters into a million pieces and it's unable to be traced anymore. 99% of the times you can put a titanium iPhone 15 on the asphalt, and Chris Black wearing some Timberlands could step on it and it's not going to shatter into a million pieces.
No, you're wrong. And this is because you're a Crocs wearer. You don't understand. You don't understand how heavy a lug sole can be. I have several pairs of shoes that could destroy an iPhone with just a mere lift of one of my legs.
I don't think so.
Oh, no,
I don't think so.
No
I think
question.
the iPhone take a licking.
No, I don't think the iPhone. No, I think it. I don't think it destroys your data, but I do think it'll destroy the phone.
It is in the cloud.
Yeah, stomping on your iPhone with your Manolos is not going to destroy your data. It's just you're gonna be set back $1,500 for the handset.
Okay, so if you had the Tom Brown shoes on,
oh, definitely,
them joints are heavy as fuck.
The Tom Brown boots also have metal taps on the toe and the heel, so there's extra bonus phone destroying elements.
Pause.
No big deal to take down an iPhone or an Android.
This is why we need to bring back Mythbusters. This is maybe...
Should we reboot?
If we ever have access to a television show. It doesn't need to be a whole show, but it can be maybe a segment on a show.
Isn't that what PJ is doing, basically?
Yeah, but his is audio-based only. You know what I mean?
You need... Yeah, to smash a phone, we need video.
And also, like so many of those things where it's like, we're here to answer for once and for all the answer to this question. And then... it's just an hour of like telling you the history of the question, and you're like, okay, great. So we're never going to get the answer. That's just my gripe.
I've never watched that show because I'm not a nerd, but I'm sure it's great.
I'm not talking about Mythbusters. I'm just talking about every misleading headline.
Oh, so you have a bone to pick. You have a bone to pick.
Yeah. I have a hypervigilance to misleading headlines. I need justice.
I didn't know you were such a warrior for justice. I know you're a frontline cat, but I didn't know it was like this.
It is justice kink, I guess, where you're just like, all right, you promised me something and you fooled me. It's a bait and switch. You didn't do that. You said we're gonna answer this very crazy, controversial question once and for all, and then it's like, in the year 1901, this is when this thing started.
It's a similar beef I have with memoirs and how I don't care about your youth. Like, I don't give a shit about anything until you start to make it. Like, it's boring. Like, I don't care how you're raised. I don't care if your parents were mean to you. I'm sure that informs your story and attitude, but it's not interesting for the reader.
Unless it's absolutely essential, maybe, right? Or it will appear in the later on in the story.
I mean, sure, but it's always like 4 chapters of that, where it's like in elementary school, I was bullied. It's just like, dude, we gotta move on. When did you become famous, or when did you die of a drug overdose? Let's just get to the point.
Unless it was some wild shit, bro. You know what I mean? But everyone who writes a memoir, it's like, I just wanted to let you guys know. Obviously, I'm wildly successful, rich, and famous because they're paying me $1 million to write about my life, but I just needed to let you guys know that life wasn't always easy for me, okay? I didn't get a handout.
It's definitely a life isn't that easy for me thing, 100%.
Father said I was only allowed 1 horse per season.
Because I finished my book, but there's another one here, and it's the Glossier book, which I swore I wasn't going to read, but I guess I'm gonna read. I guess I'm gonna read it. It's about the.
It's about Glossier or about the foundress?
I mean, both, but like it's basically like a hit piece on the founder and like the whole thing, which I just find like I don't really care, but
right,
it's gotten a lot of people have read it and liked it, but I just don't think it's actually that. Like, I don't think the story is actually that interesting. Like, I know the high points, you know what I mean? Because I lived through it, and it feels like a mean boss book,
You're not subscribed to Beauty Snark r/Beauty Snark or something?
No, I'm not.
You don't care about the concealer tea?
No, it got so much press, and like everybody read it. It's been out for a little while now. But I just don't. I don't know. I just don't. Like the mean boss.
You had to. It's in the zeitgeist.
But the mean boss narrative thing is just kind of like, we got bigger fish to fry as a society.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I just, if you don't like it, quit and get another job. It's not like,
inflation.
Yeah. There's other problems.
Gas price going up.
But I'm gonna read it. I'll give it a shot. Mainly because Emily Weiss was a successful, rich, hot.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's compelling. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Emily Weiss. Yeah, the book that you got me, the memoir from the food critic guy, I forgot his name and everything, but I like it. He writes it in a style that's sort of TJ-ish. Yeah, it's good. I
thought you would like it. I'm glad to hear that.
He's a nice little writer.
There's actually a big part in the Dana Brown book about A.A. Gill. Have you read his stuff? Like the famous food critic.
I know the name, but I haven't really read
London based, but it's a cool kind of part of the story. Because Graydon was like, he reviews place, like he like interviews a place. He doesn't review it. Like the way, does that make sense? Like the way
is this my new job?
Maybe. I don't know if you could do it for stores.
What about food stores?
Oh, for food, yeah, of course, yeah. You should do a whole series of this where you interview grocery stores, A.A. Gill style. Just go to all 5 of your favorites, spend a couple hours there, find the details that stand out to you, and then put those down on the paper.
A.A. Gill really feels like a 1817 type of name. You know what I mean?
No, it's cool. I mean, it's not his real name. I mean, it is, but it's like obviously the initials to make it to give it that pen name flair.
It's a nom de plume.
Nom de plume.
He plume in.
We got to get ready for our shows, and we had some other announcements. We're doing we're doing a little day at Friend Editions in the Lower East Side with our mate Oliver Shaw, and Bijan from Intramural has curated a collection of How Long Gone inspired items that I have to say blew me away. I don't know how you felt about it, but it's really good, really clever. but stuff you still could wear or want. It's not overt in any way.
Yeah, I have been seeded for his collection ever since the PDF arrived in my inbox, and it keeps growing and getting better. There's a lot of kind of obvious things, blue and green vintage pieces in things with the word gone in it or whatever, but there's also a lot of more hyper niche references. There's like a t-shirt for the Glendale Galleria Apple Store opening.
That's too good. It's too good.
Just a little teaser, just shit like that. No,
my favorite,
them jeans related things. It's
my
cool.
favorite, and I don't want to spoil anything, but my favorite is the "We Are Your Friends."
God, yeah, that too. It's like a bumper sticker banner thingy.
No, it's like it's like from a theater, which you're gonna have to sign, and you can forge Zac Efron's signature depending on kind of where we land on that. But yeah, that's gonna be exciting.
I have authorization,
and I'm doing another zine with Oliver. It's called Slow Education. It's gonna come out on that day, and I'm gonna be signing some and selling them on the 1st at the Friend Edition store on Lower East Side. So come by.
Slow Education, never stop learning. What is? I'm assuming this is photography.
It is photography. Yeah, it's photography. It's not my poetry. I'm
it's
holding
not vegan
that.
Recipes.
It's not. The vegan recipe book is next Thanksgiving.
Heard.
And then we have the show, of course, Webster Hall. Get your tickets. There's a few left. December 2nd with our friend Andy Haynes opening, and then John Early is our guest. We're looking forward to that. In Boston, December 8th, the Wilbur Theater with a friend of the show, Kevin Morby. We'll see you there.
I'm excited, bro.
TJ in New York.
I haven't been in New York during Christmas in a while.
We're doing an after party for the show too, but that more details later.
Yeah, get a sitter.
Get a sitter. Lock the gates. Get a sitter.
Get a sitter. Get a bag.
Get a sitter. Get a bag. How Long Gone Live. Best of both worlds. But no, thank you guys for listening. Happy Thanksgiving to all those that celebrate. And we will see you next week with some more podcasts.
Yeah, man. And have a great time in Jamaica. Have a little jerk tempeh for me.
Yeah, I haven't found the jerk tempeh yet.
You been eating good down there?
I've been eating okay. I mean, it's...
You got some conch fritters?
I've had some, there's been some nice kind of barbecued seafood on the beach vibe, which is nice and feels like what you should eat in a place like this.
Barbecued seafood on the beach. I like the way that sounds. Okay, that sounds yummy. Send me some pics.
Of course. Don't worry. I'm back in New York for the week. We got to get cracking. Back to work. Thank God this fucking holiday is over. Shout out to everybody who shopped Black Friday.
Fuck Thanksgiving.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. How long gone?
What long?